Hey, so you're thinking about moving to Raytown, Missouri? Well, it's your lucky day. In this video, we're going to talk about all things Raytown, what you need to know, and if you stick around to the end, we're going to tell you our #1 con, or the thing that you need to know before you consider making Raytown your home. And we're going to get started right now. Hey, if this is your first time tuning into the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in the Kansas City metro area, then click subscribe, hit that little bell for notifications so you can be the first to know the current market here in the KC metro area. My name is Zach Morton, my business partner Max Jones right here. The Mojo Real Estate team and I have been helping people move to Kansas City for over 20 years. We absolutely love it, but you don't have to take our words for it. See what our clients have to say with over 600 5-star Google reviews from people just like you. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, you just pick up the phone, give us a call, shoot us a text, drop us an email, and then schedule a Zoom. All that's in the description below so we can chat with you, find out what your goals are, and help you with that seamless transition into the new market.
Heck yeah.
So like I said, today we are talking about Raytown, and we're going to talk about some pros and cons, and I want to start with the size of Raytown as a pro. So it's a nice size and the location. We're going to combine those two. It's located, it's first tier to Kansas City, so real close to the KC metro area, or Kansas City, Missouri, just south of the river, which is going to give you all the amenities that Kansas City has to offer. The 5-star dining, the arenas and concerts. What else do we do? Comedy shows, just the downtown vibe, right?
Sports, yeah,
Sporting
venues.
So you're gonna have access to all that. It's one of the closest cities to Kansas City without actually having to live in Kansas City. So that's the #1. It is a small footprint. We're talking about 9.2 square miles with a population of about 30,000 people. So a pretty light population density.
Yeah, the location, size is fantastic. I really like it because it's right by the Kansas City Chiefs and Kansas City Royals. Their stadium is right in there. Really close to the zoo. Location is prime for being right in the heart of all the action.
Yeah, and so that's next on, actually what we had next for pros, so you're skipping ahead just perfectly, is we have 350 highway that runs right diagonally right through Raytown, and that's gonna head towards the city or out of the city at a diagonal, so that is gonna take you to 435, which will take you up to I-70, so it's really pretty easy in Raytown if you're living there to hop on the highway and get in and out of there real quick.
Yeah, really close to I-70 too. So check out the map video where Zach will really dig into the details and pull up the map and show you. But location and then the drivability is phenomenal for when you're in Raytown.
All right. Next we have cost of living. This is a pro. This is we've done a lot of these cities around town, and Raytown is coming in pretty sweet spot on cost of living. It's coming in at 85 out of 100%, so way below the national average. The biggest thing on there is housing, which is coming in at 57% of the national average. And then there's only 2 things that are going above that 100%, and one is utilities coming in just at 105%. But that's pretty much anywhere in the Midwest because we have those extreme temperatures. We get all 4 seasons here. So in the summer, it gets hot and we are running our air conditioners, which is sucking a lot of electricity. And in the winters, it gets cold and we're burning gas or electricity to heat our houses. So we're pretty much gonna have high utilities compared to the rest of the country, however you shake it, but that's where that number comes from. So a pretty sweet spot though on cost of living. The housing, the average active house price right now in Raytown is $209. And that's gonna get you, kind of the average housing too there is 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a garage or 2. So that's gonna get you all that. And then the average sold price is coming in over the last 12 months is coming in right at $190,000.
Yeah, tough to beat that. I mean, if you look at all of our other videos on the various suburbs of Kansas City, I don't think you can top the numbers that Raytown's coming in as far as just being downright affordable.
Yeah. What do we have next? Oh, Chiefs and Royals.
Yeah, that's close to my heart. I'm a huge Chiefs fan. In fact, the past 10 years, being a Kansas City sports fan has just been phenomenal. The Royals went to a couple World Series and won one. The Chiefs have been in the Super Bowl. So it's a great place to be in Raytown because you can actually hop on a trail. What is it, the Rock Island?
Yeah, the Rock Island Trail. That's on our pros.
Nope.
Perfect.
Skipping ahead again.
We'll blend them together.
Yeah. You can hop on the Rock Island Trail and from anywhere in Raytown, and it goes to the stadium. So, if you want to ride your bike down there, or we have a great tailgating culture. There's huge parking lots surrounding the stadiums. So, it's a great place to drive and pay for a little parking and open up your tailgate. And it's a phenomenal experience. If you haven't done it, and you're moving to Kansas City, then you're gonna do it and you're gonna love it.
Yeah. In fact, if you check out our vlog tour on Raytown, I do a lot of that right from the parking lot of the Chiefs and Royals Stadium, so you can kind of see the size of that thing, and it is massive. So great times, lots of memories out there. Definitely something you want to check out when you're in the Kansas City area. So he already touched on the trail. That 3.3 miles of the Rock Island Trail does run through Raytown, of the total of 13, and it's a nice wide trail. It follows streams and rivers, goes through the forest, but it's a paved concrete trail that gets utilized by a lot of people every day.
Yeah, Kansas City really is phenomenal. If you don't know this about Kansas City, the whole town has really prioritized walking trails for not just walkers but bikers, and it's fantastic. I mean, I've lived in other cities before, and Kansas City is probably the best that I've seen with the amount of trails that are available. And one of the best ones runs right through Raytown.
And right to the stadium. All right, and then there are lots of employers there. This is really close to the city, so I would imagine over time that Kansas City business owners probably got tax breaks or whatever, and they got away from the city. Raytown's one of those spots. It does get you out of the e-tax because you are in Raytown, so that's a benefit, and I'm sure there's some other benefits as well. So I just go down a list of some major employers. There's the school district. Oftentimes it's the school district and the hospital systems which employ a lot of people in that area. That is the case here, but being so close to downtown, there's grocery stores, the zoo's just down the street, which employs a lot of people. The Chiefs have a office there that they utilize as well that's in Raytown, so that employs a lot of people. Let's see, seafood, Kansas City Power and Light, which is our utility company here in the KC metro area. And then just the list goes on. There is a lot of employment opportunities right here in Raytown, close to the city.
Yep, the zoo too.
Oh yeah, and the zoo. And that is, we'll talk about that when we get down here. But now we're on to the cons. Is there anything you want to add to the pros?
I can't think of, I think we pretty well covered it. I can't think of many more pros. It is close to the plaza. So if you want that fine dining experience, you can shoot over into the plaza area. So that's kind of goes hand in hand with the location. But not a ton of pros about Raytown. I don't think of it as being, the most desirable place to live, and that has to do with some of the cons that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, these are things you need to know. So crime, niche.com has this rated as a C+, and when I compare it to other areas in this city, it's above Missouri and it's above the national average. So we are closer to the downtown Kansas City area, and usually as you do that, you find a little more crime. And the population density, it is a little denser than some of the other suburbs we talk about. And you pack more people together, crime rate tends to go up there too a little bit. And I think another thing, I might skip ahead a little bit, but the rent to own ratio, 40% of Raytown is rental properties and 60% is owned. And I think as those ratios get out of skew a little bit, that you also tend to see a little more crime in that area. And that's kind of how I feel about it. Before I did the research and knew about it, that's kind of the vibe I get when I'm in Raytown.
Yeah, absolutely. That rent to own ratio, typically if people don't have skin in the game and an investment in their property, then, they don't really care about it as much. And so if anytime you're looking at areas, that rent to own ratio can really tip you off as to what kind of area you're getting.
Yeah, but you never know. I mean, there are areas like that or pockets like that in Kansas City that have started out that way. And because it was cheap and affordable and it was set up like that, it totally flipped the script and became a hot spot. So this is one of those spots of being so close to downtown and all those amenities and the sports, so close to a lot of things. I'm actually surprised that hasn't started yet, but maybe at some point it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't have a crystal ball, but I think if there was a city, a little suburb of Kansas City, that this might be one that might be next in line for something like that.
Yeah, with it being so affordable, I think that it is prime for investment and So some revitalization.
Yeah, could happen. Next I have for the con is there's no Main Street. I love these little suburbs, you know, that started a long time ago, and they have the main street and all the shops are set up, local vendors, all that kind of vibe. You can go down there and kind of walk around and just have a nice time with local vendors, spending your money, supporting local. But there's really not a main street here. In fact, Raytown Road, it's a fairly busy road that kind of runs right down the middle. You got 2 lanes going north, 2 lanes going south with a lot of stoplights, so that's, you know, fairly heavy traffic. And then on each side of the road, you're gonna have your local shops, like a barbecue shop. There's a brewery there that's pretty popular, and if you're in Raytown, you're gonna want to stop there. It's Crane Brewing. They've got 4.5 Google reviews, so they're kind of the hot spot right there in Raytown. Several other shops and restaurants too. There's a really good Mexican spot. But for the most part, it's not walkable. You know, you're driving down a busy road, you're pulling into a parking lot. They're all spread out, you know, miles between each of these. So it's just, that's kind of how this is set up.
Yeah, yeah. The brewery doesn't sound like a con to me.
Well, I guess I wasn't saying the brewery is a con, just the distance between all the things, right?
Yeah, yeah. I love the main streets too. Like if you check out our other videos, you know, Parkville and Liberty and Overland Park and Lee Summit, they all have these really charming main street, the old downtowns, and there is some nostalgia there for those places.
It's fun to do. I will tell you a little bit of history though about Raytown. How it got its name is there was a blacksmith that operated there, and his name was Ray. And you know, they called it Ray's Town. He was a really well-known guy, and then just as time goes on, it became Raytown. So that's where the name came from.
Named after a blacksmith, huh?
Yeah.
He must have been a staple of the community.
Hell of a guy. Hell of a guy. All right, so we told you if you stuck around to the end, we're going to give you our #1 con of all and something you need to know before you move to Overland Park.
Gotta know.
For part 2 of Raytown. Yeah, flipping the script there. And that is the school system. So the schools are, you know, fairly poorly rated, just to shoot you straight. Yeah. It gets, niche.com has it as a C, and then greatschools.org and some of the other rating websites that we've looked at. You know, there are a couple of elementary schools that actually have like 8 out of 10 ratings, but for the most part, everything's kind of below 5. And as you get higher in the education system up to high school, they're sitting around the 3 out of 10 ratings on some websites. So it's always kind of been known for that, kind of similar to the Kansas City school district as well. Not great, but something cool that they do offer is the Kansas City Zoo is just across the highway, across 435. And there is a animal health science program that they offer that gets taught, which you can get in the high school level, it's taught at the Kansas City Zoo. So that's kind of a plus if animal health science might be your thing.
Yeah, that's if my kids brought home a C from school, you know, there'd be some words. So C rating is not the best.
Yep, not the best, but that goes to show you, I mean, a lot of times we see that with property values, cost of living, all that kind of falls into the same basket, and that's kind of what you expect here. So something you need to know if schools are important to you.
Yep.
Well, I think that concludes our list. Is there anything you want to add?
I can't think of anything to add right now. I think you did a good job of researching the pros and the cons.
Yeah, we have our vlog video, so you can check that out. We're walking through, we actually look at houses. There are a couple lakes there that you can get on. It boggles my mind how cheap it is to live on a lake in Raytown. So that's an option and an opportunity. So check that out. But again, guys, thanks for watching. Please give us a like, a thumbs up. That helps other people find these videos. And remember to connect so we can talk about your goals and help you with that seamless transition into your new market.
Hey.
Thanks for watching.